Isn't it a lovely day for the beach, dear?
The children are having such fun.
Read this with me. In California, a black family built a beachfront dream, and the government stole it. The family waited 98 years, and in 2022, something happened that almost never happens in America. They got it back. This is Bruce's Beach, and it's not just a story about land. It's a story about what's possible when we refuse to forget. I'm Rondia Kaufer. This is From Chains to Change. 1912, Willa and Charles Bruce are a black couple living in Los Angeles. Jim Crow is real, segregation is real, and go somewhere else is the message everywhere you turn. Black families weren't welcome on white beaches, so the Bruces did what our people have done for generations. They built their own. They bought 2 beachfront lots in Manhattan Beach for $1,225. Let that sink in. Prime coastline. By 1916, Bruce's Beach opens. Not just a beach, a resort, a lodge, a cafe, a dance hall, changing rooms, showers. And here's what that really meant. Black children could play in the sand without fear. Black couples could walk the shoreline without being hunted. Black families could breathe. And the Bruces weren't just hosting a good day at the beach. They were building generational wealth, a legacy. But the problem was never the business. The problem was black people being free and visible on their coastline. The harassment starts fast. White residents put up barriers, they block access, they create a walkway of humiliation, like a tunnel you have to pass through just to touch the sand, and then it escalates. Tires slashed, mattresses burned, attempts to damage property, threats over and over. Willa and Charles ask the police for help, and the police don't come. So the city finds a legal way to do what the mob wanted done. 1924. Manhattan Beach officials use eminent domain. They say they need the land for a public park. They offer the Bruces $14,500, a fraction. The Bruces ask for $120,000 to reflect what was taken and what was destroyed. The city says no. They take it anyway, and the lodge is demolished. The dream is erased. And here's the part people need to know. They didn't even build the park. For decades, it sits empty or becomes a public works yard. Storage, anything but what they claimed. Because it was never about a park. It was about removal. It was about making sure black wealth did not take root on that sand. But this story doesn't end where they wanted it to end, because the Bruce family didn't forget. Willa Bruce kept the deed close. People say she kept it under her mattress. Whether it was under the mattress or tucked in the safest place she could find, the point is this: she held on to the truth. And that truth traveled down the family line. Children told children. Grandchildren told grandchildren.
Then 2020 comes, and a descendant named Kayvon Ward says, "No more. We're going to fight." He organizes. Research begins. Pressure builds.
And then something rare happens. People listen. But even when the county wants to return the land, there's a barrier, the law. So California had to change the rules to do what was right. A bill is introduced, SB 796, to allow the transfer. And in 2022, 98 years after it was stolen, the deed is returned to the descendants of Charles and Willa Bruce. Imagine holding paper in your hands that the government tried to erase. Today, that land is valued by many estimates around tens of millions of dollars. People call this historic because it is. This is one of the rare times stolen black land was officially returned, and that's worth celebrating. But I need you to see the other lesson too. Even after victory, the system still tries to push you out because holding land costs money, taxes, insurance, upkeep, pressure, the family ended up leasing the land back to the county for hundreds of thousands per year because the costs of holding it were heavy. So yes, they got the deed back. They got acknowledgement. They got the truth stamped into history. But the struggle to keep land, that part never stops. So, what do we learn from Bruce's Beach? 1. Memory matters. When families hold the story, justice stays possible. 2. The fight needs strategy. Not just outrage, we need laws, coalitions, political pressure, receipts, documentation. 3. Winning isn't the finish line. The system is designed to make you sell quietly. And that's why this connects to what's happening right now in places like Hog Hummock on Sapelo Island, Georgia, zoning changes, rising taxes, development pressure. And next, we're going deeper into a quiet land loss trap. Heirs property, quiet title, lost tracts, taxes, zoning, paperwork that can erase land without a single fire or eviction. So if your family has land, listen to me. Keep your documents. Keep your deeds. Tell your children the story, because one day they may need it. If this moved you, subscribe, because there are hundreds more stories like this that nobody's teaching. And if you made it to the end, comment "land back" so I know you're here. This channel is independent. If you'd like to help me keep making documentaries like this, you can support here, paypal.me, Rondia Kaufer. If you can't donate, sharing and subscribing helps more than you know.